They'll tell you to follow the crowd. They'll say walk where the footsteps already lie. They'll hand you a map and tell you it's the only way forward. But what they won't tell you is that following someone else's path means abandoning your own. The truth is, most people aren't living their own lives. They're living the stories someone else wrote for them. They follow the timeline society designed, chase dreams that were never theirs, and wake up every morning feeling like something is missing, because deep down they know they've never really listened to themselves. You weren't born to follow. You weren't made to blend in. There's a fire in you, wild and unruly, that doesn't fit neatly into anyone else's plans. From the moment you took your first breath, the universe didn't whisper to you to conform. It dared you to be different, to feel more, to fight harder, to think deeper, to question everything. But somewhere along the way, the noise got louder. The voices telling you to sit down, to be quiet, to follow orders, to not take risks, they became the background music of your life. And now, you've forgotten what your own voice sounds like. That voice inside you, the one that rises up in the silence when no one's around, is the real you. It's not scared. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't shrink for comfort or applause. It knows what you want, even if you're afraid to say it out loud. It remembers your dream from when you were 5. It remembers what made your heart race when you were 12. It remembers the fire in your belly at 16 when you said you'd be someone no one could ignore. That voice, that's your compass. That's your truth. And it's time you start trusting it. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need another person's roadmap. You need only this: the courage to stand alone, to walk when no one claps, to speak when no one listens, to rise when everyone else kneels. Because those who changed the world, the artists, the warriors, the philosophers, the thinkers, they didn't follow anyone. They walked into the unknown and built something no one had seen before. And yes, they were laughed at, mocked, criticized, feared, but they weren't wrong. They were early. Don't be afraid to be early. Don't be afraid to look crazy. Trust yourself when everyone else says no. Your soul has a language the world doesn't speak, but one day it will. Because if you dare to believe in yourself, if you dare to move with faith even when the path is foggy, you will create something undeniable. Not just for you, but for everyone watching from the sidelines, waiting for someone else to go first. Be that someone. There is an elegance in solitude that most never taste, a clarity that only comes when you remove the noise. Most people are terrified of silence because in it, they have to confront the truth they're not who they wanted to be. But you have a choice. You can turn down the volume of the world and turn up the volume within. You can choose to step off the conveyor belt and walk the unpaved road. It won't be easy, but easy was never the point. Greatness never grew in comfort. Purpose never blooms in safety. You will bleed. You will doubt. You will question. But if you keep going, if you keep listening to that small voice that says this way, you will find something no one else can give you: yourself. You are not a copy. You are not a reflection. You are not a follower. You are original, raw, real. Your ideas matter. Your instincts matter. Your story matters. And no one, not a parent, a teacher, a boss, or a crowd can tell you who you are supposed to be. Only you can do that. But you have to stop outsourcing your power. You have to stop asking the world for answers it doesn't have. The answers are already inside of you, waiting for your silence, waiting for your trust. There will be days where you feel like you've lost your way. Days where self-doubt drips like poison into your thoughts. That's when you have to fight hardest. That's when you have to become your own guide. Look in the mirror and remind yourself, I may not have it all figured out, but I trust me more than I trust anyone else. I trust my heart. I trust my gut. I trust my vision. Even if no one sees it yet, I do. Even if no one claps, I'll keep playing my song. Because this life, it's mine. And maybe that's the whole secret. Owning your story even when no one reads it. Believing in your vision even when the room goes silent. Taking one step forward even when the path disappears. Following no one. Trusting yourself and becoming unstoppable because of it. You don't need a crowd. You don't need a cheerleader. You don't need permission. You just need to move. Not with certainty, but with faith. Faith that whatever is calling you was placed there for a reason, and the only person who needs to believe in it is you. The world doesn't need more copies. It doesn't need more followers. It needs more originals, more thinkers, more rebels with a cause. People brave enough to trust their own voice in a world that constantly tries to silence it. Be one of those people. Be the person who listens to their heart, who walks the hard road, who builds without blueprints, who trusts the whisper even when it's the only sound. Because that whisper, that's your gold, that's your genius. That's the part of you that will turn gray into something brilliant. You are the alchemist of your life. You are the voice in the chaos. You are the dream before it becomes real. So stop waiting. Stop hiding. Stop following. Stand up, speak up, move. Trust yourself so deeply that no rejection can shake you. No failure can define you. No judgment can cage you. That's how legends are born. That's how movements begin. That's how gray becomes gold. So the next time someone tells you to follow their way, smile politely, and then walk away, because you've got your own way, your own truth, your own fire, and nothing is more powerful than a human being who dares to trust themselves fully. You've always had the power. You've always had the wisdom. Now it's time to act like it. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them roll their eyes. And while they do, you build. You grow. You rise. You walk your path with unshakable trust, knowing that everything you're becoming was born the moment you stopped following and started believing in you.